Today we are going to deal with the numericals of chapter 11, calorimetry 11a. Question 1. By imparting heat to a body, its temperature rises by 15 degrees Celsius. What is the corresponding rise in temperature on Kelvin scale? So we know that change in temperature in Kelvin is change in temperature in Celsius. It is not, temperature in Kelvin is not equal to temperature in Celsius. Rise in temperature or change in temperature in Kelvin and change in temperature in Celsius are same. So we can write rise in temperature is 15 degrees Celsius is same as 15 Kelvin. Second question, calculate the heat capacity of copper vessel of mass 150 gram. Mass is given 150 gram. The specific heat capacity of copper is 410 joules per kilogram Kelvin. So specific heat capacity is given in joules per kilogram Kelvin. Here it is gram. So we should convert gram to kilogram. You are asked to calculate the heat capacity C dash. Formula for C dash is specific capacity into mass. Just multiply, you will get 61.5 joules per Kelvin. SI unit of heat capacity is joules per Kelvin. Sub question. Question number 2 sub question is how much heat energy will be required to increase the temperature of the vessel in part A from 25 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. So the change in temperature 25 to 35, that means delta T is given 10. So what is the heat energy required? Q is equal to MC delta T. Mass we already know, C is 410 and delta T change in temperature is 35 minus 25, you will get 10. Just multiply all these three values, you will get the answer 615 joule. Question number 3. A piece of iron, mass 2 kg, mass is given 2 kg, has heat capacity C dash. Heat capacity is 966 joules per Kelvin. Find the heat energy needed to warm it by 15 degree. Warm it by, that is, they have to increase it by. So change in temperature or delta T is 15 degrees Celsius. You have to calculate heat energy required. Answer. So in the question number 3, mass, heat capacity and temperature is given. We have to find specific heat capacity. Small letter C is equal to heat capacity by mass. So substitute 966 by 2, you will get 483 joules per kilogram Kelvin. Now one more question is there, calculate the heat energy needed. Heat energy is denoted by the alphabet Q. Q is equal to MC delta T. Direct substitution 2 into 966 into 15, you will get 14,490 joule. Now question number 4. Calculate the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 100 gram of copper. So mass is given 100 gram from 20 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees. So change in temperature is 70 minus 20, 50. Specific heat capacity of copper is given 390 joules per kilogram Kelvin. Since the specific heat capacity is given in joules per kilogram Kelvin, we have to convert mass also to kilogram. So 100 gram is equal to 0.1 kg. Now heat energy Q is equal to MC delta T, 0.1 into 50 into 390. You will get the answer 1950 joule. Next question number 5. 1300 joule of heat energy is supplied. So already heat energy is given 1300 joule. To raise the temperature of 0.5 kg of lead, mass is given 0.5 kg from 20 degrees Celsius to 40. So delta T change in temperature is 40 degrees Celsius minus 20 degrees Celsius, so you will get 20 degrees Celsius. Calculate specific heat capacity. We have to calculate small letter C. We have the formula Q is equal to MC delta T. From here C is equal to Q by M delta T. Direct substitution 1300 divided by 0.5 into 20, you will get 130 joules per kilogram Kelvin. Kg, kilogram Kelvin. Question number 6. Find the time taken by 500 watt heater. So power 500 watt means what is the SI unit of power? So here we are going to do the second stage of problems. Power is given 500 watt to raise the temperature of 50 kg of material. So mass is given 50 kg of specific heat capacity 960 joules per kilogram Kelvin. So power is given, mass and specific capacity. To change it from 18 degrees Celsius to 38 degrees Celsius, change in temperature 38 minus 18, that is 20 degrees Celsius. You are asked to calculate the time, how much time it will take. So we have the formula, we already studied the formula for power in last class. Power is equal to work by time. We already know work and energy are interrelated. Work and energy are same. So instead of work, we can write it as power is equal to energy by time. In this chapter, we are studying about heat energy. So instead of energy, we can write Q by T here. T is the time. So what will be time? How to calculate time? Cross multiply. Time is equal to Q by P. P is power. And we have the formula for Q. Q is mc delta T divided by power. So time will be mass 50 into C 960 into delta T 20 divided by power 500. Calculating, you will get the answer 1920 seconds. So in your textbook you can see it is given 32 minutes. If it is in second also, since it is SI unit, no problem. Or if you want, you can convert seconds to minute. Now question number 7. An electric heater of power 600 watt. So again power is given 600 watt, rises the temperature of 4 kg of liquid. So mass of the liquid is given, mass of the object is given 4 kg from 10 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius. So change in temperature delta T is equal to 15 minus 10, that is 5 degree Celsius. In 100 seconds, time is given 100 seconds. Calculate heat capacity and specific heat capacity. So we have to calculate C and C dash. We have the formula Q is equal to mc delta T. From here C is equal to, that is small letter C, that is specific capacity is Q by m delta T. So here Q is already given. Before, first we have to find Q. Power is equal to work by time. Work is equal to power into time. Power and time is given. So W is equal to power into time. 600 into 100, you will get 60,000 joule. So first we have to calculate Q, that is work done. So Q is equal to work and power, as I told in the question number 6. Work means energy. Energy means here heat energy, that is Q. So Q is equal to mc delta T. From here C is equal to Q by m delta T. Already we got the Q as 60,000 by mass 4 into delta T 5. So 60,000 by 4 into 5, 20, you will get the answer 3000 joules per kilogram Kelvin. You are asked to find heat capacity also, that is C dash is equal to specific heat capacity into mass, that is 3000 into 4, you will get the answer 12,000 joule per Kelvin. Next question number 8. 0.5 kg of lemon squash. Mass is given 0.5 kg. At 30 degrees Celsius is placed in a refrigerator which can move heat at an average rate of 30 joules per second. Joules per second means it is the SI unit of power. Power is work by time. Work is joule, time is second. So they are indirectly given power. Power is 30 joules per second. So they are not giving you the correct hint. They are just saying a refrigerator which can move heat energy at an average rate of 30 joules per second. So from joules per second we should know that it is power. Another unit, SI unit of power is watt, or we can say power is joules per second. Joule is work, work by time. Power is equal to work by time. So power is given 30. How long will it take to cool the lemon squash to 5 degrees Celsius? So initially the temperature is 30 degree. From that it had to reduce to 5 degree. So change in temperature delta T is 30 minus 5, that is 25 degrees Celsius. And specific heat capacity is given 4200 joules per kilogram Kelvin. You are asked to calculate how long it will take. we have to calculate the time. We have the formula power is work by time, time is work by power. Work means energy, here heat energy, that is Q is equal to mc delta T. So directly we can write time is equal to mc delta T by power. 0.5 into 4200 into 25 by 30. You will get the answer 1750 seconds. And in your textbook they just convert into minute and second. So while converting this to minute and second, you will get 29 minutes 10 seconds. Next question number 9. A mass of, up to question number 8, second section is over. Now we are going to do the last section under the principle of calorimetry. Heat lost by the hot body is equal to heat gained by the cold body. So here we are taking two different objects, metal and water. We are going to join these two together, and one object is going to lose the energy, one body is going to gain the energy. So here question number 9. A mass of 50 gram of certain metal. So I am taking here metal. Mass is given 50 gram at 150 degrees Celsius. So the metal is of high temperature. It is 150 degrees Celsius hot. Is immersed in 100 gram of water. So mass of water is 100 gram at 11 degrees Celsius. The final temperature acquired by the body is 20 degrees Celsius. Calculate the specific heat capacity of metal. Specific heat capacity of water is given 4.2 joules per gram Kelvin. Since specific capacity is given joules per gram Kelvin, here also we are not going to change because all are given in the same unit. Now here you can see the metal is at 150 degree, that is high temperature. So this huge metal, this 50 gram metal is with high temperature, it is going to immerse in water, in cold water. 11 degrees Celsius, you know, it is very cold water. We are going to insert in cold water of 11 degree. So basically what will happen? The temperature of the metal will lose and the temperature of the water will increase. So here there will be decrease, here there will be increase. And finally it will reach 20 degree. That is, the 150 degree temperature will reduce to 20. 11 degrees Celsius increases to 20. So final temperature, it will be 20. So according to principle of calorimeter, we have to write the this equation always. Heat lost by the hot body equal heat gained by the cold body. mc delta T, both are heat energy. So we can equate mc delta T is equal to mc delta T. So mass and specific capacity is, you know, delta T. This is the important point we have to keep in mind. How we should take delta T. Here you can see the maximum temperature of metal is 150. It is going to reduce till 20. So we have to take 150 minus 20. Okay. Bigger number minus smaller number. So it is going to change. From 150 degree it is going to reduce to 20. So here you can see 150 minus 20 is equal to mc delta T. Here what is happening? Already it is only 11 degree. It is going to increase to 20. So we have to take 20 minus 11. So how to take delta T is the important thing you have to keep in mind. Here is small letter t minus capital letter T. In case heat lost by hot body, then it will be small letter t, that is given temperature minus final temperature. In this case, heat gaining, it will be final temperature minus its initial temperature, 20 minus 11. Or you can keep in mind, anyhow the temperature will not be the negative values. So always you have to subtract from higher value to lower value. Here anyhow, final temperature is 20, higher value minus lower temperature. By calculating, and you are asked to calculate the specific heat capacity of metal. So mass into C into 130 is equal to 100 into 4.29. So just cross multiply, you will get the answer. Specific capacity is equal to 0.582 joules per gram Kelvin. Next question number 10. Same pattern of principle of calorimetry. Here we are taking water and copper. Mass of the water is 45. Temperature of the water is 50. And specific capacity of water is 4.2 joules per gram Kelvin. And the mass of the copper is 50. temperature of the copper is 18 degrees Celsius and specific heat capacity of the copper is 0.39 joules per gram Kelvin. So here you can see both specific heat capacity joules per gram Kelvin, mass in gram both. So we don't want to change. Finally, the question is asked to calculate the final temperature when we are mixing water and copper together. Water is 50, copper is 18. So anyhow, if you have common sense, you can know the final answer will be between 50 and 18. Okay. So here you have to start with the basic formula. Heat lost by the hot body. You have to write the complete sentence. Heat lost by the hot body is equal to heat gained by the cold body. MC delta T equals MC delta T. Mass 45 into specific capacity 4.2 into delta T. Again I repeat how to take delta T. Here you know water is going to lose the energy. So from 50 degree it is going to decrease to this temperature. So we had to write 50 minus T is equal to heat gained by the cold body MC delta T. Mass is 50, C is 0.39 and T. How will you take delta T, change in temperature? Anyhow, the final temperature will be greater than 18. That means final temperature will be between 50 to 18. Below 50, greater than 18. So we have to take T minus 18. First we took 50 minus T. Here T minus 18. Now just multiply 45 into 4.2, 189 into 50 minus T equals, multiplying this will get 19.5 into T minus 18. Now change the bracket, 189 into 50, 9450 minus 189 T is equal to 19.5 T minus 19.5 into 18 is 351. Now this negative 189 to left side, negative 351 to right side. So 9450 plus 351 equal 19.5 T plus 189 T. Now after calculating, you have to calculate temperature, that is T is equal to, you will get 47.007 approximately. Since these two decimals are 0, we can just write it as 47 degrees Celsius. That is final temperature, we got it as 47. That means temperature of water is 50, temperature of copper was 18, and we got the final temperature in between 15 and 18, that is 47 degrees Celsius. Next question number 11. Here we have hot water and cold water. Mass of the hot water is 200 gram. Temperature of hot water is 80 degrees Celsius. And specific heat capacity is given 4200 joules per kilogram Kelvin. So since it is in mass is given gram, either we can convert mass to gram to kilogram, or we can convert joules per kilogram Kelvin to gram per joules per gram Kelvin. So I am taking here 4.2 joules per gram Kelvin. Anyhow, no problem. Any method we can do, no problem. Here cold water, mass is 300, temperature of cold water is only 10 degree, and specific capacity, since both are water, it will get cancelled. You are asked to calculate the final temperature of the solution. We are going to mix hot water with cold water, and you are asked to calculate the final temperature of the water. So you have to write the step. MC, the heat lost by the hot water is equal to heat gained by the cold water. MC delta T is MC delta T. Here we can cancel C because both sides we are taking water. The previous question we were taking water and metal. So specific heat capacities will be different. Since here both are water, we can calculate. No need to even substitute. Just cancel C. So what is remaining? 200 into. Now again keep in mind how to take delta T. Here hot water is 80, cold water is 10. That means the final temperature will be between 80 and 10. That is, the final temperature will be less than 80. So we can take 80 minus T is equal to mass into. Here the final temperature will be anyhow more than 10. So T minus 10. Now change the bracket. 200 into 80, 16,000 minus 200 is equal to 300 T minus 3,000. Now negative 3,000 to LHS will get positive, and negative 200 to RHS, then it will get also positive. Now 16,000 plus 3,000, that is 19,000 is equal to 500 T. So T is equal to 19,000 by 500. You will get final temperature is 38 degrees Celsius. That means hot water is 80, cold water is 10. So we got the final temperature 38. 38 is between 80 and 10 degrees Celsius. Next question number 12. Here again it is cold water and hot water. Mass of cold water is 600. Mass of hot water is 300. We can read the question. It is little bit different question. The temperature of 600 gram of cold water rises by 15 degrees Celsius when 300 gram of hot water at 50 degrees Celsius is added to it. What is the initial temperature of cold water? So initial temperature of cold water is not given. Final temperature is given in a different pattern. That is, initial temperature get increased by 15 degree when it is mixed with hot water. So we have to take the initial temperature of cold water as X. Now as given in the textbook, the temperature of cold water rises by 15 degree. That means final temperature is 15 degree raised by X. That is, from X the temperature increased 15 degree. So we have to take initial temperature as X and final temperature as X plus 15 because temperature raised by 15 degree. Now again heat loss is equal to heat gain. MC delta T is equal to MC delta T. Both are water, cold water, hot water, both are water. C will get cancelled. Now mass of cold water is 600 into T minus T. Anyhow, cold water is going to lose. So we can write T minus T. Final temperature minus initial temperature is equal to 300 into 50 minus T. From 50 the temperature will reduce. From here temperature will increase. So 50 minus T. And if you have any doubt, you please keep in mind. Anyhow, from the maximum temperature we have to reduce the final temperature. So if you have any confusion while taking this T minus T, keep in mind always from the hot body the temperature, final temperature should be reduced. So 50 minus T. Okay. Now 600 into T. We don't know the final temperature. We have X plus 15 is the final temperature. So instead of capital letter T, we have to substitute X plus 15. Minus T. Here initial temperature is X. So minus X. So X plus 15 minus X is equal to 300 into 50 minus T. What is our T again? X plus 15. Again, positive X, negative X will get cancelled. 600 into 15, that is 9,000 is equal to 300 into 50 minus bracket X plus 15. That means 50 minus X minus 15. While changing the bracket, both will become negative. So 50 minus 15 is 35. So you will get, instead of this, you can write 35 minus X. Now this 9,300 will get cancelled. You will get 30. 30 is equal to 35 minus X. Now negative X to opposite side, it will become positive, and positive 30 to the side, negative. So X is equal to, X means our initial temperature is equal to 35 minus 30, that is 5 degrees Celsius. Last question, question number 13. 1 kilogram of water is contained in 1.25 kilowatt kettle. So kilowatt is the unit of power. So from there you have to write power is 1.25 kilowatt. Since kilowatt is not the SI unit, we have to convert it to watt. Kilo means 1000. 1.25 into 1000 you will get 1250 watt. Power is given 1250. Mass is given 1 kg. Calculate the time taken. Time is equal to question mark. Taken for the temperature of water to rise from 25 degrees Celsius to its boiling point 100 degree. So from 25 to 100. So change in temperature is 75. Specific heat capacity of water is given 4.2 joules per gram Kelvin. Since mass is in kilogram, Power is also in one SI unit. Power and mass is SI unit. We can convert specific heat capacity also to SI unit. Joules per gram Kelvin. Converting to joules per kilogram Kelvin. That is 4200 joules per kilogram Kelvin. Now we are asked to calculate power. Power is equal to work by time. Work is energy. Energy here is heat energy. MC delta T by time. Now cross multiply. Time is equal to MC delta T by power. Mass is 1. 1 into 4200 into 75 divided by 1250. You will get the answer 252 second. Or we can convert it into minute and second. 4 minute 12 second. So this is the end of the numerical of chapter 11a. Hope all of you understand. Thank you.